В общем, я понял. Надо сначала пройти гражданку. Блять, какую гражданку? Альянс. Сюжетку Альянса. А потом уже идти спасать Тамариэль от Молотпала.
Don't lie, Catman. I saw you eat that flower. I can't let you harm this forest without penance. The Green Pact
I don't make many sales here.
longer you delay, the longer Hazazi must stand here. Go!
Crime is the brother of civilization, I suppose.
Animal husbandry. One of the few jobs here that doesn't violate the Green Pact. But Marbrook's where the money is.
Of your stories.
The wood elves deep in the forest.
This one assures you.
The Wilder King who shapes Valenwood.
Sounds like a load of superstition to me.
Hail!
Hail, chosen of the Queen. We have been expecting you. Queen Irene sent a missive detailing your arrival and orders. You are here to secure the staff of Magnus. Safe in our vault below the city. We have guarded it day and night. When you are ready, I shall show you into the vault. If you would follow me. As you can see, our artisans have built some small amount of civilization amidst this barbaric wilderness. Marbrook will soon be a jewel of the Dominion in this backwood territory. As one would expect, we have encountered scattered protests, nonsense about protecting the trees. The local Bosmer are disorganized and flighty. Such outbursts usually fizzle out of their own accord. Ah, the Mages Guild. If you would follow me inside. Behold, the Mages Guild. The paint is still fresh. A marvelous addition to the city.
Not much longer now.
Work remains, of course, but one does what one must on the fringes of the Dominion. The vault is below. Follow me. This vault holds many rare plants that no longer exist in the Somerset Isles. Do take a closer look. I am no scholar of botany, but I know something about our specimens. Alchemists pay a dear price for this plant. It will be the jewel of the royal gardens. We found these in a Valenwood cave of all places. We've been trying to transplant this unusual variety of redwort plant into Somerset for some time. Crimson Nernroot. We thought it was a Nord tall tale. Valenwood soil is not surprisingly very fertile. These specimens are bound for the royal gardens. This room holds Ayleid relics uncovered across Valenwood. Interesting, aren't they? We've removed any dormant traps that we know of, so feel free to examine them more closely. I will answer any questions you have about them. This helm is actually from our own collection, but one of our Bosmer allies stole it and then returned it in exchange for a song. The tree gifts. We're not actually sure what it does. Scholars believe this relic was broken into pieces when it fell from the heavens. They believe there may be others in Hectorheim, the legendary center of the Valenwood. Our ancestors have left traces of their civilization across Tamriel. If we follow Queen Irene, our empire will one day rival theirs. Behold, the Staff of Magnus. What happened? Where is it? By the shining trees of Aldmeris, we have been burgled. But how? I know not. We have guarded the vault day and night. I placed the staff myself. No, the vault is off limits to all, but wait. Vicereeve Palador recently toured the vault. The Queen's business. Or so he stated. The staff was present before his visit, but I did not check after he left. Unthinkable. Yet, what other conclusion can we draw? Such illusionary magic is beyond the ken of a common thief. To the surface, I must question the watch.
It's good to see you.
Valenwood is a trove of rare
None have entered the vault save you and the Vicereeve. I have confirmed it. He departed into the wilderness. He said he had orders from the Queen to bring Naaman's body. He did not return. He was always foolishly devoted to the prince. I pray nothing has happened to the prince's body, too. The Staff of Magnus is an extremely powerful object. There's no telling what wickedness he could achieve if he desired it. Rest assured, he would not have accessed the vault if we'd had any suspicion of his loyalty. Someone must inform the Queen.
chosen of Marbrook, your queen has arrived. Bear witness to the glory of Queen Irene, hope of the Dominion.
I need a break.
Sorry, not doing any business today.
Honor and praise, my friend. Do you have the Staff of Magnus? Peladil? Then it's true. He's betrayed us. My brother's body didn't make it to Marbrook either. I knew he loved Naaman dearly, but I didn't think he'd stoop to this. I will once again require your aid.
These wood elves and their forest spirits. Thou claws are they strange.
The Dominion's enemies strike from within and without. It makes allies like you all the more precious.
It is good to see you, my friend. Greenshade is far more exciting place than Raz expected. He hears now that the Staff of Magnus has been stolen, as if these rebellious Bosmer were not trouble enough. Not yet, but it is possible. The elves in this part of the Valenwood do not follow King Camoran. They claim to be subjects of the Wielder King, some forest spirit no one has ever seen. They mock the Dominion and call Queen Irene an enemy. We do not know. The Battle Reeves sent a soldier, Hazazi, to negotiate with the Bramblebreach clan, but he has made no progress. Now Raz needs to hunt for the Staff of Magnus, so he asks you, will you find Hazazi and sort this out? The Bramblebreach village is just south of Marbrook. Hazazi is there. He likes to complain, but he's a good soldier. He just needs someone with a more sophisticated negotiation style. And by the time you get back, Raz will have a lead on the staff. This one does not understand Bosmer clan politics, but as Raz hears it, the clans of this part of Valenwood have always been wild. Some even sided against King Camoran in the Blacksap Rebellion. Greenshade is the heart of Valenwood. It is very dangerous and very mysterious, and these Bosmer understand it like no others do. Raz would not be deterred, but even Camoran's Vindusk Rangers avoid traveling in this part of the forest. As always, Raz serves the Queen. She wanted to know if the Bosmer here are as scary as they sound. With the Staff of Magnus stolen, though, Raz must make that his priority. This one knows you can handle the Bramble Breach as well as he could. The obvious answer is probably the right one, Peladil. That toad fulfilled Naaman's every wish. Why should that change just because the prince is dead? Raz knew the Veiled Heritance was a disease not so easily excised. If Peladil has taken the staff, we need to find him and discover what he plans to do with it.
We've got almost everything.
My prices can't be beat.
Well?
Dark moons. These crazy Bosmer make no sense. Hazazi comes to negotiate on behalf of Queen Irene to hear their grievances, and all they do is dance and jest. Hazazi has only been here a short while, and already he hates this village. What negotiations? These dungy elves don't want talk. They say they only answer to the Wilder King. Who is this? Who knows? They'd rather pull Hazazi's tail than give him a straight answer. It's not fair. Hazazi always gets the worst assignments. Hazazi likes this idea. If you can just get the Bramble Breach to make sense, this one will be impressed. Hazazi thinks it's a wild guard chase, but if you want to try, speak with their tree thane. May you have better luck than Hazazi.
Hail!
Hello there. Welcome to Bramble Breach. If you came to see a festival, I'm sorry. It's the off-season right now. Of course, you're always welcome to stay and join us for music and dance.
Quality wares.
My eyes look red to you.
Hello.
I can't tell if it's laughing, but I think it is.
A guardian. They will protect the village. The Wilder King provided the husks and taught the first villagers how to bring them to life. There! It shook! That's laughter! It must be!
Hail.
Is this on straight?
The ale is thin, but at least there's plenty.
The spirits told me another outsider had come to visit Bramble Breach. Yes, a pretty Altmer girl was here before. She is searching for our Wilder King. What is it that you seek? How to explain this? He is many things. The tall rocks and trees around the village, do you imagine they would care if they fell upon us? Could they care? An outsider with an open mind. The Wilder King's nature is like the rocks and trees. He does not understand pain or suffering, and yet he is just and kind. I knew this to be true the moment I saw him. When I was a child, yes. My grandmother was among the first Bosmer to come to Bramble Breach. This was long before the Old Merry Dominion and the High Elf City of Stone. The Wilder King built this village for our ancestors.
Long ago there was a war in this part of Valenwood. There are many forgotten stories about that war, but a massive wall of brambles was raised around what is now the Wilder King's court. This village was the only opening into the court.
Exactly.
He reminded her of a terrible but distant storm, a thing of great beauty capable of frightening devastation. She said he could lift the ground into a hill or pull a full-grown tree out of a seed. He did all of this easily. Among the original tribe who came here, my grandmother lived the longest. The night she died, I saw him standing among the trees. Her tribe were his first friends, I think. It seemed like he wanted to mourn, but he didn't know how. It has been many, many years. I was a child. He was very tall, with a slender, handsome face. His crown is what I remember the most. Knotted branches that rose above, and alive. He wore a living crown.
I didn't think I was being disrespectful.
Whoops! I'm sorry, I didn't see you there. I almost ran right into you. I guess I'm a little distracted. Anyhow, I hope you'll forgive me. Yes, it's just that tree thane. It's not my place to say, but I wonder if she isn't just a few leaves shy of a full tree. I mean, I came to speak to her in the spirit of scholarly study, but she treated me as a child. She said, "Run along now." I have no idea. I've never done anything to offend her. I've never even met her. I should be going, though. Someone's waiting on me, and he can get a little impatient. Sometimes people are just impossible to understand.
Hello. I don't seem to be making much progress.
Another tourist? Rare to have so many visitors in this part of the Valen Wood, didn't you hear? It's much safer behind the shiny new walls of Marbrook. Even King Camoran hesitates to venture into the court of the Wilder King. Negotiate? About what? Oh, I know. You want us to bow to your queen and swear allegiance to your what's-it's-called? Aldermary Dominion. Huh. Problem is that our allegiance is to the Wilder King, and he doesn't seem to care for your dominion. Ha! Sure. Let me just pull him from my satchel. You people don't understand. The Wilder King manages the entire forest. He doesn't have time for idle talk. Why do you think so many people doubt his existence? Not in person, but I don't doubt the Wilder King exists. He speaks to me in the babbling brooks and the wind in the trees. Other Bosmer petition him for an audience, but I don't need to. He already tells me everything I need to know. I could tell you, but how do I know you're trustworthy? You ask us to share your enemies, but will you share ours? The wood orcs are a plague we can't seem to be rid of. If you help us drive them off, I'll tell you what you want to know. Lurchers. Take seeds from the shimmering tree in the village and plant them in the orcs' camp. In a few minutes, they'll sprout out with a vengeance. The orc chieftain won't surrender so easily, though. Just kill him. Leave the rest to the lurchers. Don't bother coming back here until you've run off the orcs. I've got important business to attend to. Huh. Well, if you plant them in some peat, they sprout into a flower, and then after some time, the flower grows into a lurcher. If you want more than that, you can ask the Wilder King himself, when you get that audience. Huh. They're gifts from the Wilder King, embodiments of the raw energy of the forest. They protect the village. They're not so smart. We can't lead them against the orcs, but if they sprout straight into the orcs' camp, they'll know what to do.
You look like a confident person. I wish I was confident.
My cousin was studying with Tellinger at Esduin.
Thank you for all you did there. Many outsiders who visit Bramble Breach are weary. They carry weapons and have seen much violence. If you are one of them, please stay a while. Relax, daydream. Many outsiders who visit Bramble Breach. I mend, fix, and build things around the village, like the stone walls, paths, and torches. I also look after Elaine. She's the oldest living member of our tribe. She's like the tribe's grandmother. Her own grandmother was one of the first Bosmer to move into the court of the Wilder King. If you come across her speaking to thin air, she's just talking to the elders at Bramble Breach. We owe him much. He crafted these houses for us long ago. We never go hungry. He always looks out for us, and his blood runs through the land. Forgive me, I misspoke. He is the land. The sap within the trees, the water in our ponds and lakes, this is his blood. The stones and soil are his skin. Trees are his hair.
Can you believe that tree thane? Was the tree thane as rude to you as she was to me? All I asked was how one might get an audience with the Wilder King, but the way she reacted, you would have thought I was trying to slaughter her children. Did she treat you any differently? She did? That's funny, because Ander and I offered to drive the orcs away and she turned us down. I don't know, I'm beginning to suspect this is some elaborate Bosmer trick and the whole village is laughing at us when we're not looking. I didn't say that. There is definitely a distinctive magical force in this part of Valenwood, but I fail to understand by what logic the tree thane decides who gets an audience with the Wilder King and who gets turned away. Oh, I'm Aranias. Maybe you've read my book, Spriggans in the Green, Story and Myth in Primitive Bosmer Society? Probably not, I guess. Anyhow, Ander and I came in a scholarly pursuit to see if this Wilder King is really as powerful as they say. We'll just have to venture deeper into the forest on our own. We'll probably get lost and suffer a slow and painful death, but that's the risk we have to take. If you want, you can take the essence from the calope tree and rub it all over your body to cloak yourself in a haze of forest moths. The wood orcs won't even see you. Oh, one more thing. Ander scouted out the orcs' camp pretty extensively. He might have some useful observations if you ask. Good luck with the wood orcs and that tricky tree thane. Maybe we'll meet again when we find the Wilder King. There seem to be a lot more rumors than any real facts. Some say he's a man. Others say he's a spirit, an embodiment of the forest. What I find most fascinating, though, is the rumor that he actually shapes the entire forest. That's just incredible. Me? I was born and raised in the Somerset Isles on a rather small island known as Silitar. It's a pretty secluded place. Growing up there was what first sparked my interest in studying nature magic. But, well, it was very lonely. Of course not. He's mainly here, acting as my guardian. They warned us that this place was dangerous, and if the Wilder King is really as unpredictable as people say, well, never hurts to be prepared.
I spent several hours watching the wood orcs and evaluating their weaknesses. As a whole, their strength is in numbers. As long as you don't take on the entire camp, you should be fine. The chieftain's the one you have to watch out for. By the look of his scars, he's seen his share of battle, and he knows how to take a beating. Don't expect him to go down quickly. There's a shaman who's never far from his side as well. I'd focus on killing the shaman first. Good luck. the last you need.
not afraid to fight. Good. Give me your best.
The Guardians were amazing. I know you helped too, of course.
You know what stinks? Dead orcs. We're gonna have to haul all their bodies off and burn them. Otherwise, we'll never get their stench out of this part of the forest.
The Guardians just ripped the rest of the wood orcs to shreds. I swear, it's just incredible to watch them work.
My scouts came back singing your praises. They said the wood orcs broke quickly after you killed Chieftain Thragdosh and unleashed the Guardians. I wasn't exactly expecting you to succeed. Seems there's more to you than meets the eye.
And you're worried I won't hold up my end of the bargain? No, I keep my promises. You got rid of those parasitic orcs. You've earned the right to petition the Wilder King for an audience. I hope I haven't given you a sense of false hope, though. Bosma around here petition the Wilder King for an audience all the time, and he rarely responds. More than likely, you're simply wasting your time. Suit yourself. Just south of my home, you'll find the petitioning stone. Just touch it. Probably nothing will happen. If he wants to speak with you, though, he'll appear when you touch that stone. I never said it was complicated. Besides, by scaring off those wood orcs, you just might have improved your chances. The Wilder King sees these things, you know. All right, run along now, and may the forest part to reveal your path.
Welcome to my court, outsider. Since you entered my domain, I have watched your actions with keen interest. You have been generous with my people and more patient than I expected. But I still cannot gather one thing. Why have you come? Again, not what I expected. I think I've heard of this old merry dominion, but I don't see how inclusion in this group would appeal to me or to the people in my domain. Aligning with you would only alienate us from others. Interesting. You think we have common enemies? My only enemies are those who would seek to harm Valenwood. Let us test your theory, though. Show me one of these enemies of whom you speak, so I might better understand. Use the other stone pillar, the one on the platform behind us. Touch that stone pillar and an apparition will appear. One of your enemies, as you say. Fight this enemy so that I might see its true nature. I am pleased to be able to lend you strength to face this enemy from your past.
Strike us down, but the veiled heritance will always rise
Zazi is finished with this village. Now you are negotiating with a forest spirit who calls himself a king? With all those floating leaves, Azazi thinks he looks very silly. Do you really think this is going somewhere? Or is it just a waste of time? By the light of John and Jod, this is the craziest thing ever seen. Even Razumdar would have lost his patience by now. If you think all this makes sense, then Azazi is starting to wonder about you too.
I sense the darkness in the heart of the one you fought, but he has already been defeated, has he not? And those like him, they may not all share his darkness. You should have me call these people enemies, though. The Veiled Heritance. Yes, I am familiar with this distinction as well. There is one among this group who has come to Valenwood to see me, and I find her curious. Very curious. I'm not inclined to consider her an enemy. She is one who has been blessed with fascinating gifts. Gifts I cannot afford to ignore. You would know her identity, though. I was able to capture one of her memories. Touch the petition stone again, and I will share it with you. Look for the truth behind...
We have much need of someone like you, Aranias.
Yes, young one. We have a problem in the Valenwood that will require your talents specifically.
I would be honored to help however I can.
An opportunity has arisen to strike a devastating blow to the Dominion, to divide the Bosmer.
The Bosmer in Greenshade claim allegiance not to King Camoran, but to a man they call the Wilder King.
Killing this Wilder King will drive the Bosmer mad. He is very elusive, though, so I will need your help to find him.
You realize we are entrusting you with an important task, I hope, my dear.
Of course, Lady Estria, you can count on me.
As you've just seen, the young girl Aranias is associated with the Veiled Heritance. Until I know more about her, I hesitate to call her an enemy. I will have more insight soon, though. Even now, Aranias is on her way to my throne. So she believes, but there may be a greater truth to her purpose here. You may not like this, but I sense the same is true of you. Like the branches of a grat oak, I believe that Arania's destiny, my destiny, and your destiny are all intertwined. I cannot yet see how these events will play out, but I do know that like Aranias, you must come deeper into the forest. You must eventually come to my throne, but not yet. Each of us is a strand to be spun into the story of Valenwood. You should seek out the spinner, Marrowan. He can tell us how this story began and where it should end. Yes, traveling through Valenwood is a funny thing. It may take them many days to find the path to my throne. You have all the time you need. Find the spinner's cottage and speak to Marrowan. Safe journeys, my friend.
Dancing elves, forest spirit kings. These people are pulling on the tail in more ways than one. You can stay if you want to, but Azazi thinks it is time for him to return to Marbrook.
Azazi calls this madness.